Hey guys, welcome, welcome. So, if you thought today would be the day I took my Christmas tree down, you'd be wrong. I'm holding out still. Now it's going to be a contest for me how long I can hold out. Okay, so first of all, I just want to tell you how happy I am. I'm just so happy these changes I've made in my business, this sit down to record whenever I feel like recording, regardless of the lighting, regardless of what's going on, because I don't know, I feel so connected to you guys. And I love, 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 feeling more in the role of mentor as opposed to expert. We're giving all our power away to experts. We're really fucking up our own intuition with expertizing everything. And it's really leading to this there's it everybody the answers are out there, right? And I've been trying to succinctly communicate how my work feels like it's changing. And it really is about this. It's about finding the little joys in life. It's about finding the magic in our own lives. And that's the content I'm doing a lot on social media now is how can we how can we recognize how gorgeous our lives are in these small ways? And I think what the internet and social media and feeling like experts have the answers. I don't know how to do this. Feeling like that is really numbing us. That's why we reach for our phones so often. That's why we get into these bad habits, right? Because there's this dullness because it feels like everybody else is having a great time. Everybody else knows what they're doing and it's out there somewhere. And it creates this deep longing. And I don't know, it shifted over for me between Christmas and New Year, that break, and so I'm hoping to communicate it to you guys because I know what, something burst, it cracked me open to see this in myself, and we can get slogged down by the mundane, by the, everyday shit tasks that we have to do, but what I keep finding is that people are minimizing those things because there's something big, there's something great. We've been led to believe that we're all destined for a legacy. Your legacy might be your kids. That's it. I don't know. It's just this weird point in society where it just feels like everything has to be big or it doesn't count, or everything has to be super magical or it doesn't count. And the reality is, every day is magical. Every day is, if we can find it, or if we can do the things in our lives that make our lives ours. And one thing I did a reel a couple weeks ago that, okay, I'll tell you the silliest story before I get into my big story. I'm finding these little times and how to remove some annoying frictions. Yes, I think we need to add friction in for a lot of us and add friction in for our kids. We have to but there are some frictions that are just making our lives miserable and I'll tell you what. So, I have these black tank tops. I get them from Amazon. They're cheap. I go through them. I go through them rather quickly. I like to wear them to the gym and they're always too long for me. I'm pretty well, I'm short. I'm just short. And so they're long for me. And I don't like things against my stomach, like when I tuck in my leggings and things like that. And and so I realized I wanted to I was going out. Oh, I had a black a knit skirt, pretty form fitting, and I wanted to wear that for a holiday party. And I wanted to wear the black top, and it was too long. It was going to bunch up, So I cut it. I cut everything. You can see it if you're watching this on YouTube. I cut things off my neck all the time. I'm a big cutter of clothes that don't work for me, and so I cut it off. Now they were brand new, so I didn't want to cut all six of them. They come in like a six pack, right? And I didn't want to cut all six of them, so I just cut the one, but then it fit so great. Like, I spent a week searching through all six to try to find the cut one, and I was like, James, just cut them all, right? Like, this basic thing, just cut all the tank tops, and I did, and of course, my life is 100% easier. I also in my car, I just did this thing. So I'm night blind, which means my pupils don't dilate. And so competing lights are the thing that make driving really hard for me at nighttime. And if it's raining in nighttime, oh my God, forget about it. And I think this is what happens to a lot of people as they age. For me, I've always been like this, but I think that's why old people have a hard time driving at night. And So I ha so the way I'm short I have a Cherokee, and nobody else complains about this, so it's gotta be me and my shortness, but the way the headlights hit my rearview mirror, not my rearview mirror, my side mirror, it blinds me. I have to drive with, like, my hand over my m over the window to block the light. It's annoying. And the navigation, right, that or the console that shows, like I don't even know what you call it, the screen, right? The big screen that shows, like, what you're playing on the music and your heating and all that. It's big and it's bright, and even when I turn the volume what's light volume? When I turn the light down, it's still too bright for me, and so it hurts my eyes because they're competing for my peripheral vision. So I have been meaning to like, I try to put something over it, but the incline of the dashboard, I can't it doesn't stay. It's just a mess. So, the other day, I just bought 2 pieces of Velcro, a little black cloth, and I just Velcroed the black cloth, and it can go up or it can come down over my navigation thing. So these things, like, have removed a little bit of friction, right? And so that's kinda cool. But in the last episode, I mentioned recognizing that I was scrolling my phone more than usual because of feeling inept about something. And this has huge I think this will have huge impact for you. I hope it does, as much as it did for me, because it's literally changed my world. So I live in this tiny cottage in the middle of the woods. It's stone. It's so cute. It's everybody's dream. Like when delivery guys come up my long dirt driveway, they're like, "Oh my God, this is the dream." But it was built in 1890, and it was each part that was put on was duct taped together, so it's really structurally, like, a little crazy inside. But it's interesting, and it's cute, and it's whimsical, and there are 1,000 ideas I have to make it mine, but I am petrified. I am petrified of making mistakes. So, when I was a kid in all the houses I grew up in, we had horsehair wallpaper. I don't know if you've ever experienced this in an older house, but it is like almost like crumbly wallpaper. And if you put a hole in it with like a thumbtack or a nail, that's it. You're done because it's going to start chipping away. The wall's going to get ruined because the hole's going to start like kind of falling apart and get bigger and bigger. So it was like drilled into me at a really young age. Do not put holes in the wall. But also, I am the opposite of whatever a perfectionist is. So I'm definitely type A, but I am a messy person. So I've never measured anything in my life. I don't like and when it comes to like handyman things, I would never use, like, something like a level. I don't measure. I don't mind if things are messy. I don't mind if they're imperfect at all. In fact, I don't have matching plates. I don't have matching silverware. Like, I love imperfection. I love that. And so but I have all these ideas to make my little cottage, like, more whimsical, more fun. And it's my house. I have adult money, and there's a saying going around, it's like a soundtrack on reels where you like, why do we have all this money in our own house and we just leave it so boring? Like, why would it be so boring? And I know there's resale value. I'm not worried about that. I don't care. Um, I don't think anybody would buy my house at this point anyway, maybe for the land. So I think I can't do things. So I hire handymans for everything. And I always think like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't even put a nail in. I feel very inept in this area. So I have tried to hire a handyman, but they're all so busy right now. And I had a contractor come in and redo some of my kitchen, and he couldn't kind of finish up the tail end things. And now getting him back is like impossible. So here I am, and I have all these ideas that it's just brewing in me, and I'm not doing anything about it. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to me. And so I don't want to be frustrated. So I go on my phone and numb it out. So the other day I had painted my window frame Lego yellow, and I loved it. It kind of changed the vibe of the kitchen. And I always am shocked when I actually paint because I'm like, oh, this is way easier. You put up painter tape so you don't make mistakes. And even if you make mistakes, who cares? Like, I'm not entertaining. Nobody's coming to my house like searching for mistakes. And so I always get inspired when I paint. And so the windowsill though has been years and years of people just painting over. So I don't feel like putting in the work of redoing it, sanding them. It's the payoff's not gonna be good for me. So I was like, "I'll just get some contact paper." So I got this contact paper, and it's like lemons and grapefruits and viney, and it's pretty, it's cute. I can't show you yet because it's not done. But anyway, the project's not done. But the print was almost too big for the windowsill, right? Like, it wasn't reading properly, and so I had this cool contact paper, and I'd been delaying painting behind my stove. Number 1, I have to move my stove, and we have critters, we live in the middle of the woods, I don't know how many skeletons I'm gonna find under the stove, behind the stove. Plus, behind the stove gets greasy, I was gonna have to, wash it with the TSP and then wait and then paint it and let it dry, and then I wouldn't be able to cook, and it's the middle of winter, which means, ugh, how can I do that? So, anyway, I was being grumpy about painting it. And then I suddenly looked and I said, "Oh, I wonder if I could put the contact paper up there as like an accent wall." It's very small space. It's a very tiny space. And I was like, just noticing in myself, like the observing I talked about in the last episode. I'm observing that, oh my God, I I can't do that. What if I wreck it? What if I wreck it? What if yeah, I'm gonna have to use a scalpel to cut it at some point. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to measure things. And I got myself all twisted up. And there's a emergency emergency shut off switch in the middle of it. So that's like a light thing that I would have to carve out with the scalpel. And that's all foreign language to me. And then I was like, wait a minute, this is low risk. I'm gonna paint it anyway, even if I fuck up the wall, like whatever, I'll fix it. And the contact paper is $12. It's paint, it's like sticky, so I'm not putting that much work into it. The biggest job was like lining up the pattern, right? So I did that and I was all proud of myself because that's not my wheelhouse to be that in that nitty-gritty. And so did that, put it up, used the scalpel. Oh my God, you guys, it came out so cute and I love it. And like it was the cheapest job, and better than that, though, number 1 is I did something I think I thought I couldn't do, and this unlocked something in me. First of all, I didn't go on my phone all day because I was so proud of myself. I got up in the middle of the night to check my wall because it was so cute, like, every time I look at it, it brings me such joy. Then it unleashed it's like I opened the door to all those cute projects that I had ideas, and now I'm doing things. I I caulked something. I used a caulking gun. That was so far out of my wheelhouse, and I know some of you might be like, "Oh my god, that's the most basic homeowner thing," but for me, it was a big deal. I had to look up on YouTube how to load a caulk gun. I had to look up on YouTube how to release the caulk from the caulk gun. Like, I need handholding every step of the way. But then I was like, "You know what? I can do this." And one thing I wanted the contractor to come back and do is I have a tin backsplash, and, we had run out of the tin. I had to get more, and it was hard to find. So I finally found it, and there was this one area that needed it, and he like, again, he's not coming back to my house, so I was like, "Oh, shit. Alright, let me try it again." I cut it, I measured it, and I cut it, and I put it up, and I caulked that too. I know. I just want like, I know you can be, like, high-fiving me through your ears. I was so proud of myself, and so, first of all, now I feel like a badass, and I know I'm not like a handy woman just because of this, but I am creating, I'm doing more, and the next thing that happened was it's so freaking whimsical that I looked around and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna do, like, stencils for lemon on the wall," and ever since I went to the Amalfi Coast, I'm high on lemon, so, um, uh, and then I was like, "You know what? My bathroom, Okay, I like dinosaurs, I do. So I'm buying, like, dinosaur stencils, and I'm gonna repaint my bathroom and do dinosaur stencils on the wall, and I'm so excited about it, and Pascal was like, "Dinosaurs? That seems childish," and I was like, "Nuh-uh. Who doesn't love dinosaurs?" And so it just brought this, like the reason I'm telling you this is I feel like we all have this areas. This may not be your area. But number 1, I think we have to bring whimsy and magic back to our own lives, to our homes, to our kids, to how we parent, how we cook, how we do one thing is how we do everything. And I think we've gotten into this place of optimizing and rushing and I got to do this and get the to-do list that we're missing out on these like really simple little things that bring us back to I have no other words but whimsy and magical, and it's just making my world so incredibly happy in a world that feels like it's on fire all the time, in a world that feels stressful and almost unbearable. This is what we need. Bringing magic back to our own lives, making our lives suitable for us and nobody else. And I feel like there's a subtle thing that has creeped in with the internet, with so much picture taking and documenting and Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok and whatever the thing is, whatever again your poison is, it's become this like everyone's watching. But and so we're kind of so much of our lives has become performative. And I know it may not be that way for a lot of you, but I figure, shit, if it's happening to me, this is what I'm going with. If it's happening to me, it's gotta be happening to other people. So, while it may not be your experience, I think it is happening out there. That, like, we've lost the what do I wanna say? Weaving the fabric of our own lives, knitting the beautiful sweater that is our lives and our kids and us as people. And so, yeah, I just encourage you to look around, like, what can you shift? Or I think the big thing is, what are you afraid of? What is stockpiling in your head? Or not a to do list, but there's got to be something that is that is overwhelming you, that you feel inept at, that you feel like you keep having ideas. Maybe it's starting a side hustle. Maybe it's doing more with your kids or like, oh, I really want to get outside, but it's too cold, but it's this, but oh my God, because getting your kids outside can be such a fucking chore that it's so easy to be like overwhelmed by it. But when you actually just get up and do it, it's always like, oh, this was so much better than I thought it was going to be. Not all the time, but most of the time. But whatever it is, whatever's backing up in your brain that you're not doing, that's the thing you need to do. The reason you need to do that is because not doing that, I swear to God, is contributing to our phone use. We're using our phones to numb out. And you can again fool yourself and say, no, 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 I'm just going to get good ideas. I'm just going to get this. I'm just going to get that. The reality is, once you log on to social media, you are numbing out. Okay. So I should say that. I should say we're using social media on our phones for that. Other people do have some numb outs. If you're an endless researcher, if you can't buy something without researching it 100,000 times, you think you're doing good. You're not. You're using that as an escape. I've seen it time and time and time again. It's a way to think you're in control and you're using it as an escape so that you feel more in control. So, however you misuse your phone, and everybody is right now, it's because something's backing up in your life. I can almost guarantee it. And when I didn't know stupid contact paper on my wall would be the thing that unlocked everything for me, but it did. And now I'm on fire. And it's like I fell in love with my life again. And obviously, I'm gonna state the obvious, my kid is grown. I have more time than you. I totally understand that. So please run that through your filter. Don't use it as an excuse though, but run it through your filter and understand that I'm not saying like everybody has what I have in this moment because I definitely have more time. But I'll tell you what, coming out the other side of motherhood with my kid grown, I'll tell you what happens. And I've talked about this before, but I spent the greater part of my early life being a people pleaser. I spent 20 years being a mother and bending for a lot of people, mostly for my son. And with him grown and menopause, it is this like great joy that your life is fucking yours. It's like, what? Like, who the fuck even am I right now? And so some of it is a rediscovering of that. Some of it is reading in the middle of the day because I can. And I used to love reading and now I'm reading again. And, but this falling in love with your own life, I think this is the key to enjoying motherhood. And obviously, hindsight is 2020. I wish I'd done more of this. I think I did a fair amount of this, like loving where I was in the moment with Pascal. But again, for a lot, his early years, we did not have personal devices like we have now. We certainly had smartphones, but they aren't what they are now. We didn't have Instagram. Facebook had just started to take off. So I think we were much more able to love our lives without the compare and despair that is so rampant right now, and it just happens. It happens. All it takes is a couple of images, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not doing enough. Oh, everybody knows better than me. Everybody's having more fun than me." And yeah, so let's fall in love with our own lives, and whatever that takes, and find the magic. I walk Maverick early in the morning and I get back. Today it was dark and still dark when I got home. And I said, fuck, I'm gonna have my coffee outside. I got a lawn chair. It's winter and I was cold, but the night sky and watching sort of the on of dawn, what kind of magic is that? It's amazing. And so many times that's something like the sun's coming up and another day of drudgery, right? It's easy to slip into that. So anyway, if you guys have ideas, I'd love to hear from you. And I I always wonder when I talk about things like this if I'm in left field about it. But I hope you can sense my joy and my I feel it's like bubbling over every day because it's changed things so drastically. And for some reason, like I even said at the end of the last podcast was me, I count. I count. My experience counts, and I want that for you guys, even in the depths of early motherhood, is like, you matter, your experience counts, and obviously, your kids come first. Obviously, it can't be all about you in these early years especially, but how can you enhance your own experience so that it is not just the drudgery, not just the slogging through to get to the next thing? All right, I'm gonna shut up now. As always, I so appreciate you guys. Rock on. Have an awesome day and put your phone down.